I have some books I'm really excited to share with you today in my little book haul. It's a smaller book haul than usual because I still have a lot left to read from my previous book haul. So let's get into it. First up, does the cover not grab you here on this one? Like when I saw that cover, I was like, yes, please. I need this book. Revenge meets promising young woman in this thrilling debut about a vigilante on a mission to take down predatory men. Perfect for fans of Geneva Rose and Lane Fargo. And I do love me some Geneva Rose. If you have not read Geneva Rose, you need to. I love her books. Love, love, love. I can't quote all the titles just off the top of my head, but I know I have loved every one that I ever read. Dylan Truman, better known under her alias Lady Justice, ooh, I love it already, is the bane of every grifter, cheater, and bully in the Bay Area. Alongside her best friend and hacktivist, Daniel Haas, she works as a revenge-for-hire vigilante, seeking retribution on behalf of her predominantly female clientele. When a prospective client brings up a fraud complaint against pharmaceutical CEO Brent Wilder, Dylan's business becomes personal. Years earlier, Wilder assaulted Dylan's sister and got away with it, and now it's time to make him pay. But she may be doing it alone. Daniel is ready to leave the business and settle down with a stable and safe job. Dylan is devastated. Not only is she losing her partner and one of the most talented digital private investigators in the city, she's beginning to realize her feelings for Daniel are deeper than she thought. But with Brent's increasing paranoia comes life-threatening danger, and Dylan must keep her head in the game. With the clock running out fast, Lady Justice must choose between vengeance at any cost and giving it all up for the man who may actually love her back. Dylan's always tried to protect those she loves by walking her path alone, but perhaps there's another way to ensure justice is served. So that sounds really good. Close Enough to Hurt by Catherine A. Olson. Next up, we have Keep You Close by Karen Cleveland. A woman must confront her sense of right and wrong when the one person she loves most is accused of an unimaginable crime. Stephanie Maddox works her dream job policing power and exposing corruption within the FBI. Getting here has taken her nearly 2 decades of hard work, laser focus, and personal sacrifices. The most important, she fears, being a close relationship with her teenage son, Zachary. A single parent, Steph's missed a lot of school events, birthdays, and vacations with her boy, but the truth is she would move heaven and earth for him, including protecting him from an explosive secret in her past. It just never occurred to her that Zachary would keep secrets of his own. One day, while straightening her son's room, Steph is shaken to discover a gun hidden in his closet, a loaded gun. Then comes a knock at her front door, a colleague on the domestic terrorism squad who utters 3 devastating words. It's about Zachary. So begins a compulsively readable thriller of deception and betrayal as Stephanie fights to clear her son's name, only to expose a shadowy conspiracy that threatens to destroy them both and bring a country to its knees. Packed with shocking twists and intense family drama, Keep You Close is an electrifying exploration of the shattering consequences of the love that binds, and sometimes blinds, a mother and her child. That sounds fantastic. I hope it's as good as it sounds. Okay, now this, I'm happy to say, they actually said on the cover that this is a sequel to this. I always like when they actually tell me that on the cover. Unaccompanied Minor by Hollis Gillespie. Runaway April is in a race against time, 5 miles in the sky. April May Manning has vanished off the face of the earth. This would probably be a big deal if anyone knew about it. April's flight attendant dad died years ago in a plane crash. Her flight attendant mom's in a psych ward due to a trumped-up breakdown. And April's brutal stepfather, Ash, is off piloting transoceanic flights, leaving April to fend for herself as he wages a custody battle during a scathing divorce war with her mother. After escaping a harrowing abduction, April takes to the skies, but suddenly finds herself caught in an airplane hijacking that seems strangely connected to her abductors. When her best friend, a 67-year-old flight attendant named Flo, is shot after hijackers open fire, April hides in the cargo hold with a boy and a wounded police officer. Realizing she needs to perform the impossible, break into the cockpit in order to save herself and the innocent passengers, April strives to rely on the legacy of knowledge passed down to her from the airplane mechanics, engineers, flight attendants, and even baggage handlers who make up her family heritage. She knows the odds against her are high and that this hard landing could easily be her last. That sounds really interesting. And then the sequel to it, I thought the title was funny. We Will Be Crashing Shortly. If I were about to get on a flight, I wouldn't think that was a funny title, but when we last caught up with April May Manning, she was a media darling. The 15-year-old has used all the skills she's learned as an airplane kid shuttling cross-country between divorced parents to help land a hijacked airplane and save hundreds of lives. On top of that, she learned that she was an heiress to a transportation fortune. But wherever Crash Manning goes, trouble follows. She has, after all, survived 4 crashes of the airplane and automobile variety, and now she's back in the thick of it. On the run after being charged with unaliving, she ends up with her best friend Malcolm in a crippled aircraft over the Caribbean Ocean. But also on board is April's villainous stepfather, responsible for the hijacking that nearly unalived April, and the cargo hold is filled with corpses. For the first time in her 15 years, April is terrified. Time has run out, and all her smarts, not to mention her smart mouth, won't be enough to save her this time. This nail-biting and hilarious thriller proves why Unaccompanied Minor, the first April May Manning book, scored perfect landings coast to coast. So hopefully that's a fun series. It sounds like it might be a YA series since the protagonist is 15 years old, and I enjoy YA. It's very rare that I don't enjoy a YA. Okay, and then this has been on my TBR for a very long time. And again, recently, I saw one of the many booktubers that I watch talking about how good this was. So I decided, okay, I'm going to bump it up on the TBR. So here it is, Look Closer by David Ellis. I don't think I've ever read anything by him. So hopefully he's good. I know one author that I listened to, Daniel Hurst, like he has a lot of intriguing sounding titles, but I listened to one of his books on Audible and I can't remember what it was. It was something about the neighbors or something like that. And the characters were so just stupid and unlikable, and it was just so boring. Usually I give an author more than one chance, but that one I was like, this was so spectacularly bad. Like now I'm afraid to try anything by Daniel Hurst. But anyway, I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but okay, so this one, the best lies are the ones closest to the truth. Simon and Vicky couldn't seem more normal. A wealthy Chicago couple with a stable, if unexciting, marriage. But with these two, absolutely nothing is what it seems. When a beautiful socialite is found hanging in a mansion in a nearby suburb, Simon and Vicky's complex web of secrets begins to unravel. A whirlwind affair, a $20 million trust fund about to come due, a decades-long grudge, and an obsession with revenge. These are just a few of their lies with devastating consequences. Both Vicky and Simon are liars, but just who exactly is conning who? Wouldn't that be whom? Who is conning whom? I'm not sure on that. Prepare to question everything you think you know in this wickedly clever novel of greed, revenge, obsession, and quite possibly the perfect unaliving. And then lastly, we have Between Two Strangers by Kate White. Now, I know I read one book by Kate White that I did not like, but I must have liked one of hers, or else I would not have gotten another one of her books. Or perhaps this is my giving her a second try, because one of her books was kind of boring. Sorry, Kate, but so we'll see. Hopefully this one is not boring. Struggling artist Skylar Moore is shocked when she receives a suspicious phone call from a lawyer she's never met regarding a private matter. As soon as she arrives at the law firm's office, she learns she's the recipient of a large inheritance. Ooh, must be nice. A life-changing sum that will allow her to realize her long-held dream of becoming a mother. But who was her benefactor, Christopher Whaley? The late man's name means nothing to Skylar, and she has no idea why he would leave her such an enormous bequest. Looking into his background, Skylar finally realizes they met once at a hotel bar and shared a one-night stand. But they never exchanged numbers or even last names. And that was more than a decade ago. She wonders if the inheritance is meant to be a message of some kind, but can't imagine what it might be. Whaley's family is confused and suspicious, too. And his widow accuses Skylar of having an affair with her late husband. Yeah, I think I would, too. Under these circumstances, then threatens revenge. To protect herself, Skylar has to understand the reason the money was left to her. But as she digs for the truth, it becomes clear that Chris Whaley might have taken other secrets to the grave, ones that could have terrifying consequences for her. So I thought that sounded interesting, so I'm giving Kate White another try. We'll see. Don't let me down, Kate. I gave you another try, so we'll see. All right. That's all for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.